What's up, Capoeira Nation? Welcome back to the Capoeira Experience Podcast, where we connect our Capoeira community and help motivate in a very positive way our community to help with tips and advice to help you understand this beautiful art that we all practice. This is your host, Instructor Kashishi, and I just want to say thank you so much for everybody that supports our podcast. So I get very happy when the capoeira community reach out to me to connect and talk about our beautiful capoeira. And I hope one day you reach out as well, so we can have you in the podcast. That being said, for today's episode, I'm very excited because it is my very first time I'm having an Angolero in the podcast, which makes me very excited. So he started capoeira in 1997 in Detroit. After 7 years, after that, the capoeira had something more for him, where he could tap in. During that time, he met Mestre Caboclinho Aruanda at his first workshop in Michigan, falling in love with capoeira Angola. So in 2007, he decided to start over with the Capoeira Angola in the Centro Tabcat, thanks to the blessing of Mestre Caboclinho Rwanda. Right now, he has a non-profit called Creative Movement Brazil, helping kids, teens, and even adults in the with Capoeira Angola music, dance, and culture. So let me introduce you to Contra Mestre Pequinininho from Detroit, Michigan. How are you doing, man?
All right, how about yourself?
Pretty good, pretty good. Sorry for such a long intro.
Oh, no problem. Muito obrigado.
Of course. Yeah, I mean, our capoeira community, how we were talking before, this podcast is for our capoeira community, and I believe, 100 strongly believe that capoeira was made to bring us together.
Correct, correct. Yes.
Yeah. So before we jump into the interview and all the questions, what are your social medias? So how
Well,
people
our
can.
social medias we have on Facebook. You can follow us on Tabcat Detroit
Nice.
for our nonprofit Creative Movement Brazil, and we're on Twitter, Instagram, Vimeo, YouTube,
Nice.
Creative Movement Brazil. It's basically almost everywhere. If you can type in Tapcat Detroit or Creative Movement Brazil, you'll find us.
Oh, nice. On these moments, we gotta be everywhere, man. Yeah.
Exactly, and it's just like that one gap. If you leave that one gap closed,
People go that
it's
way.
definitely that's missing. Yeah.
Nice. No, that's the way to do it. And so this, how we said at the beginning, the interview is going to consist in two parts. So for people to understand, so people can stay a little bit longer, they
Okay.
can hear the whole story. The first part is going to be about your story, your capoeira story, your capoeira journey, and everything until now. Then we're gonna jump how you handle the non for profit there, how it works in the community and everything. Okay,
Okay.
perfect. So now that being said, uh, tell us a little bit more about yourself. Who's Contramestre Pequenininho, and your story, and you can start however you want.
Okay. Well, let's see. Everything more started with my past. I'm an artist. Ever since my mother would always make sure that I was in some type of a creative aspect of something. If it wasn't science, it was art. So by birth, I'm an artist. I love to draw, and that actually transpired into actual physical creativity from martial arts itself.
Nice.
So, mostly everybody around me, we all grew up, seeing Bruce Lee as our first martial artist.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but it was great. And then I'm like, oh, this is something unique, that the actual body can do. However, there was always that thing that kind of like itched me that just said, um, I feel like there's something that my culture actually has. Not to just say I can say I never really saw anybody like me.
Yeah.
And then it came around to where I saw, a couple of different things, like, like one was like Jim Kelly and Ron Van Cleef, different martial artists as well that we know in the actual Black community.
Okay.
And, they were the inspirations for me to like, wow, there's something different. But later on, and I'm going to give you a good laugh with this one,
Nice.
Capoeira journey. And I actually came across the first movie, and everybody always will say it most of the time, but my first movie that inspired me was Only the Strong.
Of course. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and first thing I hear, Ben and Bob play, and then
Mr. Man.
I'm like, wow, and I'm just like flabbergasted. I'm just,
Yeah.
wow, this it's not. I'm like this, wow.
Yeah, it's something
So
different.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm like 13, and I'm looking at this like, oh my God, I want to learn this so bad. And this is like, so long ago when Napster and Yahoo groups existed. So it was a limit. So the only time I can actually see it, I'm like, I researched, and I'm like, oh, it's in Brazil. Well, my mother's not going to let me go to a whole nother country at the age of
At
13.
13. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, ah. So it was just like, look at it, try to mimic certain things. But then later on, in high school, I actually met one of he's still like best friend till
Nice.
today. His name is Tadarius. And
Okay.
we were both in art class. And he came in, he introduced himself like, hey, you do like anime artwork, you do video game artwork. He's like, yeah, it's cool. Now here comes the actual funny part. So I'm riding my bike back home,
Okay.
and I hear, I hear in the distance, I hear, so I was like, hold on a second, something, what's that? I hear Biddenbow in the distance.
Oh, cool.
I hear Biddenbow in the distance, and then I hear singing, called Banana,
Oh,
Banana,
that's so funny.
Banana. And I hear, as soon as I turned real quick, I saw somebody on the corner do Jinga, do Awu, whole bunch of different things. And I'm
Yeah.
like, wow. Now, the funny part is that I turned real sharp and flipped off of my bike. So I landed in the street, and I'm like, oh, wow. So I get up, the exact same person that I met that week, Terry, that was him.
That's so
And
crazy.
it's just so
Just
crazy.
destiny.
In Destiny, yeah. And the funny thing about it, we sat and talked. He's like, Kelvin, like Terry. We found out we actually lived just like 11 minutes away from each other in walking distance.
Cool. Man, that's
Never,
awesome.
never knew it. So after that, his brother and then a couple other people, he had let me know, yeah, well, we actually, train together with a group on, west side of Detroit. Come check it out, see how you like it. Everybody was very inviting, and it was great. And it gave me more of an inspiration and hope that I could constantly, this is something that I can, invest in, not
Yeah.
just, I mean, for myself, and just to learn more about me.
Yeah.
And from there, it just continued to grow. But then I found that it got to a certain part where it was just like limit. um, you know, learn a movement, things like this. But it was like, okay, what's more the deeper part of things? What's more like,
Okay.
historia capoeira? What's
Yeah.
more, even more music, the bateria, the berimbau, everything
And
else.
how old were you when the hit, when on that gap in between when you started and when the hit, like, oh man, like it's something more there.
It was, let's see, it was before I met Mestre Cabuquinho out of Wanda. It was
Okay.
just, see, it was about like, let's see, I was 13 at that time, like 15,
Okay. Oh,
15,
cool.
16, something
Okay.
like that. But it was like, the constant thing. And then I had, other influences that, they visit, come in, teach a capoeira workshop. And I'm like,
Yeah.
still is not, it's not
Not
calling.
clicking yet.
Yeah. And, I was like, well, I'll just keep practicing. But I'm like, I remember like the one day I sat and I like prayed about it. And I said, I was like, please, can there be somebody that just comes that can, add on to everything else
Yeah.
that can help me, understand what's like in the forefront of my brain.
Yeah.
And that happened where at the Serengeti Ballroom in Detroit, it's no longer there, but it was location in Detroit. That's when Mr. Caboquinho had his first workshop in Michigan.
Okay, that's so
And
so cool.
and I had met him, and we sat, talk, and this is where right now you see I have like short hair. I used to have like a big afro, like
Oh,
right here.
nice, nice.
So I met him, we sat and talked, and then he's like, oh, he's like the capoeira that you have that's inside of you. He was like, always just understand that capoeira is a journey
Yeah,
that doesn't stop. He's like, it doesn't stop. He was like, the capoeira, I do capoeira Angola. He was like, I'm from Salvador, Bahia. He was like,
nice.
he's like, I come to your country to try to pass on something, from my country,
That's awesome.
just so people can enjoy.
Yeah.
So, from there, I'm like, his message was just like, wow. It wasn't a lot of, ego or anything like that that I actually experienced in the past from, some
Okay.
some other individuals. It was just like he was real. He was just
Yeah.
literally real.
Very humble then.
And yeah, and then from
That's
there,
awesome.
lost connection for a second. Then I was actually in a diner, and another person. This is how it's so funny how life and faith actually works. The
Yeah.
first time I
Yeah.
was with in high school, then lost connection. Then I'm just sitting in a diner eating pancakes and things, and I saw this other person I knew from another. This is how art does this, from a vocational school in art. His name was Lamar, and he
Okay.
said, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh yeah, how are you doing? You still trying capoeira?" I'm like, yeah, I really know just myself now. And he was like, oh, you heard Mr. Caboquinho? I met Mr. Caboquinho. I was like,
Yeah.
did he?
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah. He was like, oh no, he's here.
Oh,
So he gave me his
nice.
info, and then I called him, and then as soon as I went over there, he's like, huh, I remember you.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So, again, it's like there's that other chance that went like,
Yeah.
hey, this is what you asked for.
Yeah. That's awesome, man.
So, from there, we trained, um, and then it was just like, how do I want to say, a refresher. That one, he said, you know what? It's like I don't want to take away what you learned in capoeira a long
Yeah.
time ago. It's like I just want you to know that there's more. It's not just a slice of the pie. There's just
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
And he said, just if you can give me a chance, just give me 3 months, and you see how you like capoeira and go from there. Make your decision. You make a decision from there. So
So he stayed in the US for those 3 months doing
yeah,
Angola.
yeah, yeah. He
That's
actually
awesome.
he after workshop he moved to Michigan.
That's awesome.
So yeah, so he moved to Michigan, and then he taught classes in Ann Arbor and Detroit, and then other cities. But
Yeah.
his primary focus was always Detroit.
Man,
Uh,
that's so cool.
Yeah, and it's like, in the aspect of things, it's like, everywhere else could receive, how do I say, receive capoeira, in a certain way, but for him, he was like, I want to make sure that Detroit and then all Michigan can enjoy capoeira Angola. He's,
Nice.
he's like, I just don't want it to be one. I want everybody to enjoy it. So from there, um, 3 months, then that was in 2007. So it's 2019 now. So needless to say, I stayed. so, so yeah, from there, it was a lot of different things. You know, whole test, going through different things, passing more on, and then one thing, he poked the whole thing of, how's your Portuguese? I'm like, I'm gonna be honest, it's not that good.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
like, he's like, learn more Portuguese. He's like, that'll help your what you invest in, how you gonna learn capoeira.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
from there, I can say I was like, oh, good. Now when we talk, I'm like, oi, mestre, como vai?
Yeah.
Bem obrigado. He was like, meu estudante fala português. I'm like, sim, mestre.
Fala
So,
assim, mestre.
see, he's
Nice.
just, yeah. So it's, for him, it's like, a wow factor, not just for myself, but also, we also have in our group his wife, Mestre Rapidinha.
Nice.
Strong female side of Capoeira Angola. And them just together, they make a how do I want to say, an unstoppable duo as far as
That's awesome.
the peace and positivity they try to share to the whole community.
That's
Um,
awesome.
and from there, a lot of things I learned from them pass on to me. And then it's like, oh, now the time, oh, now today, you got, now you trenel capoeira Angola. I'm like, oh, now you got another journey. I'm like, okay. He's like, you ready? It's just like, you're ready, and then somebody pushes you in the back.
Yeah.
Like,
You're
go.
like, oh no.
Yeah. I'm like, okay. I'm like, oh, master, yeah. Then after that, he's like, oh, it's been a long time you invest. How do you feel, Capoeira Angola? I'm like, master, I love Capoeira Angola.
Yeah.
Like, good. Now let's go to Brazil.
Oh,
So
that was your first time.
yeah, well, after my graduation to Trinidad, my first time going to Brazil, it was in 2014.
Okay.
And from there, went on. He's like, "Oh, we go here for something. You get to see where the capoeira come from. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah. Bebe água
see,
da fonte.
yeah, exactly." He's like, "See and invest in the part." He's like, "The capoeira Angola. See how the voice and the strength inside the capoeira Angola, how loud it talk, and
That's awesome.
how loud it talks from Brazil to your country, and then to everywhere else in the world."
Yeah.
And here in the United States, there's a lot, there's Capoeira Angola Grupo all
Yeah.
around,
Yeah.
but it's kind of small.
Yeah, yeah.
But one thing for sure, going to Brazil, and I stayed. One. He was like, "Oh, we're going to Brazil. We go to Salvador Bahia." He's
Nice.
except like, we're gonna stay in the Pelourinho. And so it's like every day. The funny part of it is like, wow, okay, I get to stay in the Pelourinho. I get to walk by, every time going up down the hill. I always see Michael Jackson's, poster, you
Oh,
know.
okay, yeah, nice.
So for his music video and all I'm doing, I'm like, oh man,
Yeah,
every
yeah.
morning they don't really care about us playing.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
it was just like, wow, all of those different things, from seeing it on TV, from this different thing, all of the different perspectives, and also um, how I want to say, from being an outsider looking in,
Yeah.
it's amazing. It's still amazing to
And you're
me
like,
till
whoa, like a little kid on like
yes.
candy factory. I was like, God.
Exactly. And it was like, wow. He was like, how do you feel? You in the land of capoeira now? Like,
Yeah, you're like, I don't know
like
how I feel.
that's just like my mind's exploding
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah, that's
So
awesome.
it was then he, more we, sit, talk, see a lot of different factors. I was able to, see how everybody interacted in Brazil when it comes to capoeira Angola,
Yeah.
batucada, samba,
Nice.
everything that was just all cultura,
Yeah.
everything. Wow, it's where like Filipe Bimba
Oh,
right
awesome.
here, and then across the street, Association Brazilian Capoeira Angola. I'm like, they're right across the street from each other. I'm like, I can take 6 steps across the street and I'm at
Anticanoe class.
H.
That's
And
awesome.
everybody's just sitting there like, huh, yeah, bon dia. Yeah, everybody's just so cool and laid back. And I'm like, I really felt like I was back home in Detroit
Okay.
because Detroit, other than what the media and everything can say about not just Detroit, but any city,
Yeah, yeah.
um, it always can be negatives, goods and bads, but I really felt like, I was back home.
Yeah.
And, from there, go around, interact, play capoeira Angola here, go on the street, play capoeira Angola in the street, here's take a class and more workshop in Batucada. Here's another class, Makulele. Here's a whole, it's just everything. It's like, wow, everything you could just ask for.
That's
And,
awesome.
it was where Mr. Capuchin was like, I don't want to. He's like, I want my student to understand what they invest in, but then not have to be naive,
Yeah, yeah,
not have to be naive, and then understand, where sometimes politics can happen inside of the
yeah.
capoeira world.
Oh, yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and from there it just, helped me understand, myself more. Even for myself, here I'm a black male
Yeah,
that does capoeira Angola.
nice.
So, and it's like, wow, there's something different.
Yeah,
Uh, but not where it's not unique. So, from all of my students, I let everybody know when they come, I'm like, for one, we all come in peace.
yeah,
I don't care who you are, what walk of life, you know, what type of job you have, anything
yeah.
like that. Come in the door. All I want you to do is be in peace, have fun, and enjoy capoeira.
That's
That's
awesome,
it.
man.
Let's enjoy capoeira. Because you're like, you capoeira? Nah, he's a metalist. Let's enjoy capoeira Angola.
Yeah,
So from there, it gave me a lot of strength and more understanding of myself and my capacity, not just in capoeira, but where I could be inside of the life of capoeira Angola. That just kept me going.
yeah.
Um, from there, um, I can just say, it's been a great journey.
That's awesome.
It was I don't want to say, a lot of, train 5 o'clock in the morning, don't stop until, at night at 11, 12.
Yeah,
Now it's time to go around, eat some acarajé. Then
nice.
that's a guarda.
Yeah, yeah. I had those days too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's
The
oh, go ahead, sorry.
Yeah. So you did you start with was it capoeira contemporánea when the first class that you did?
Yeah, it was contemporánea. Yeah.
Nice.
And then it was like, a lot of different thing. Like again, it was, I want to say, the base was kind of it wasn't like a solid base, what I could generally
Okay.
say. It was more like a little bit topical. It was it
Okay.
it, it it almost felt like, get in, get out. Get in, get out.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's like
I see what you mean.
yeah, it's like, okay, we're doing Jenga, but I'm doing Jenga. What about Historia Jenga? What
Yeah.
about, what's past, do Melo de France? What's Melo de Compasso? I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm American. I don't speak Portuguese. So
Yeah. Of
I'm like,
course. Of course.
even that, and it was like a lot of the times where the questions that I asked, they just were never answered. And
Oh.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
So
like
you felt like in the air, like, what should I do?
exactly. It was yeah, and that's what I can say really put that fire under me as well, where it was like I need I know there's more. I just
Yeah.
literally know that there's more out there.
That's awesome.
And when you invest in something for so long, you how we are as beings, we're like, I want to know the answer. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was like a lot of passive times and everything, and I'm like, nah, you know what, this isn't for me, but it still calls to me. And then
Yeah.
that's those 3 months with Mr. Capoquinho out of Wanda, it was like, okay, I asked this question, here's the answer. I asked this
Nice.
question, he's like, if you really want to make sure that I'm saying the right thing, go research it. Now, a lot of the time, some of the, my past, they wouldn't, just throw that opportunity out there. Like, go research it. Knowing how
Yeah.
I am, I'll research it till there's no tomorrow.
Yeah.
It was just that, that much, that amount of being able to share
That's awesome.
and be real about it. That's something I was just, happy to receive. So, a lot of past the capoeira that I started learning, it was like I could say more capoeira for a show.
Yeah.
Like a lot of show, a lot of corbacia, a whole bunch of different things. But I'm like, okay, what about having a real good game?
Yeah. Yeah. That have that connection that you know that you playing and it's not just like playing by yourself or something.
Exactly. It's like
Yeah.
a lot of things where it's too far of a distance. Two people play capoeira. Except I'm
Yeah.
like, for like how I learned, it was like, Well, capoeira is supposed to be a conversation between two people.
Exactly.
And if
Yeah.
we're that far apart, I have to yell. So how
Yeah.
good
Yeah. Yeah.
so how's the conversation going to be like clear?
Yeah. Exactly.
So,
Yeah. And now, what do you think was like make you fall in love with Capoeira Angola? Like, what do you think? Like, you say, like, man, Angola called me on this.
well, it was that I was able to find out more about the past, the history that wasn't
Oh, cool.
just Brazil, but it was more even going back to the diaspora of
Yeah.
everybody, the whole transition of everybody. It was more that really called to me because like I said, as myself, for me and a couple of my friends, when we all grew up, we didn't really have that many individuals that we could look at that were black
Yeah.
martial artists, things like this and that. And this showed that it had a deep history that, came from slavery, but
Yeah.
then at the same time it was something that was powerful. Just that whole experience was like, wow, you can go through all of this and create something so beautiful,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it continues to go.
Yeah.
That just got me.
Yeah. It's just like the energy that you feel there. Like, when someone is really on at the moment of the huddle, like doesn't even matter like what kind of capoeira style, but when the person's in the moment and the energy is right, oh man, it's just like you get goosebumps and it's like you never get tired.
Yeah, exactly. It's times where I'm even sitting at fair bit and bow, sit for the bit and bow, and I'm like,
Yeah,
okay, I want to do something, but I'm like, it's just like keeping it under control, and then it's like
yeah,
now your spirit just gets to elevate, and
yeah, yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
so
No, that's awesome. And now for the next question, what do you think? Because that's the part of the culture and the kind of like spiritual part. How do you think Capoeira Angola can benefit our community, like Detroit community? How that can benefit there?
Well, I feel it can benefit the community here as far as it being something different and unique.
Yeah.
Because around more around here, like Detroit, Michigan itself, we have different cultures here. We have some that actually teach dance, some teach Afro-Cuban dance, some teach
Nice.
African dance. Some teach. We actually have a Filipino community. We have a
Oh,
lot of different
cool.
cultures here.
Nice.
Except and Brazilian community here as well.
Nice.
Except I feel that Capoeira Angola helps everybody because of the community at large needs something different, and it needs something that has a rich history in it, so
Yeah.
they can know that it's not just this art, but you as an individual, your story doesn't end at the corner.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have a story that goes to another city, another country, another way that you can express yourself as an
Yeah.
individual. Rather it be movement, music,
Yeah.
fit, health, whatever, but you have an opportunity. The door isn't closed to you. You have an opportunity.
True. That's true. Yeah. It's like I was talking a while ago on one of the interviews. Like, doesn't matter who you're talking to in the capoeira community. That even if you don't speak, if you speak different languages, if you jinga, you already start speaking the same language, which is funny.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Like, doesn't really matter where you're from. You can speak Russian and you start Jenga and the person you start having a game and it's just that's why I love this.
Exactly. I feel it's that, well, not just feel, I know it's something that I don't care who you are, we're united in some type of way, shape, and form.
Yeah.
But it also helps you with that opportunity to how do I want to say, grow and have humility.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, just have that humility there to be able to break down those walls as an individual and say, I don't have to be this image. I don't have to be this. I can just be myself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. No, I believe the same too. Like every Jenga, every person brings their personality to the Hoda, and
Mhm.
it's just they show who they are, you know.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that I love this, and you're completely right that people capoeira brings who they are on the individual.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
no,
Yeah,
that that
and sometimes it can surprise even that person. So it's like,
yeah,
wow.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, well, I always say in the all the interviews that I used to be extremely shy, like extremely shy kid when I started in
Mhm.
capoeira, and capoeira helped me to start being more outgoing and talking more to people. Like for example, like now I have the podcast, and I'm like, this because capoeira.
Yeah, yeah. And like I could say, again, I just thank you for what you do, and
No,
you
of
continue to
course, yeah.
do it because there's not a lot of platforms out there that are, just open to everybody working together, and then at the
Oh, for
same
sure,
time, just, staying on the goal of the positivity of a capoeira
for
itself,
sure.
right? You're contemporary, regional, Angola, it doesn't matter,
Yeah,
whichever one.
yeah. Like I always said, like I said at the beginning too, like capoeira was created for the slave to bring everyone together, so they not to break us apart. And
Exactly.
that's my goal with this, with bringing everyone together and connecting people. Like probably someone out there comes to Detroit and be like, hey, like I heard this interview, I'm gonna go check this out.
Yeah. Thank you. And
No,
thank
oh,
you.
of course. And speaking about community and all those kind of stuff that actually leads to the next question. What are your thoughts to bring the capoeira community, at least the Midwest, because we're here in the Midwest,
Mhm.
closer? Like make our community stronger, capoeira community stronger.
Well, I feel what would make it stronger is just when the individuals can leave I won't say their ego at the door.
True, good point. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah, because it's like, again, it doesn't matter what your title is, it doesn't matter what cordal you have, it
Yeah,
doesn't matter, you know, that you fight capoeira all the time. It doesn't matter.
yeah,
You went into the order and gave like 10 rasteiras for you met your rasteira quota for the day. You
yeah,
know, it doesn't matter. That does not matter. What matters is everybody is happy, everybody's in peace, everybody is learning,
yeah.
and everybody is becoming a more infinite individual. I
Oh, for
feel
sure.
I feel that will would make the capoeira community even stronger.
That's for sure. I agree. I agree because like I agree with that can make us stronger on the sense of like if everyone is lifting everyone up.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. And
no,
it's
I
like, hey,
completely agree.
yeah, because it's like, hey, well, we're having a order this day. Okay, this person just came. They've been training for a month. New student.
Yeah,
You don't want to give the new student like a tough game.
yeah,
They give
for
them
sure.
a tough game, that's gonna make them feel a certain way, and then
Yeah,
they're gonna want to not. This is like, I don't want to do it anymore. So
yeah,
you
because they
don't
feel
want to do.
intimidated or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. We want to keep elevating each other. It's like, okay, well, remember that you started off from somewhere just
Exactly.
like this
Yeah,
did. So why not help them?
yeah,
So,
I agree. I agree. No, that's completely true. Because sometimes I see in the hall, I'm like, oh man, he's a beginner. Hold on.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're like,
Yeah,
oh no, let me just, I'm not trying to give them tough game. Let me help them grow. Let
have
me
fun.
help them have the conversation. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, I agree. And also like going to events, each other's event, and even if it's, I know sometimes life happens and all the stuff, but help each other in the events, workshops, bachisado if it's there's some that helps our capoeira community too.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Because we have to look at it as far as, after we're gone, what are we leaving here?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So now, so that was the part of the your capoeira journey and also which is awesome. And now we mentioned before that you have a non-profit entity.
Yes.
So the second part, which is from now on, is going to be more about how you handle the nonprofit or how you handle the community, the capoeira itself, the the paperwork for for saying it one way.
Oh,
Uh, so
okay.
when at some point you have to start thinking on I gotta create a nonprofit or I gotta create a LLC. So what make you decide why the non for profit instead of LLC?
Well, the nonprofit spoke to me more as
Okay.
far as, one, I'm not like really good at administration and everything as much. So my wife just actually stepped in, so she's gonna hear me talk about her as well, which is a good thing.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
But she, when we sat down and we had talked about it initially, we talked about the corporation part and then the nonprofit.
Oh,
And
nice.
it was like we both came to that agreement that was something more for the community. I mean, an
Yeah,
LLC were being like a corporate entity, and
yeah,
like
pretty much.
we don't want to come off as being like the I don't want to say like the next conglomerate that's trying to actually like take over something.
Yeah.
uh, no, nonprofit really spoke out more for us as well.
Okay, okay. And because I know that non-profit has some like tax benefits.
Yeah, it does. It helps as far as when tax time comes around. But that's a bigger aspect of it. So
Yeah, exactly. And the how so I know that non for profit. I think you need to have like director and the person that dictates the classes, right?
yes.
So it's how is the non for profit structure? How do you structure that?
Well, generally a nonprofit, you have to have, an executive director and then board members. Each person has a different, job.
Okay.
As far as the executive director, secretary, treasurer, um, you know, event planner, you have somebody that works in the community, event coordinator, different things, and they all have different titles.
Okay.
But myself, I'm the executive director. My wife she's I want to say she's like vice president, secretary. She's like a lot of things because she's has a brain for that.
Yeah, yeah. Woman's always doing.
Yeah, yeah. She let me know. She's like, she said, babe, you go out there and do your thing.
Yeah, yeah. I take care of the paperwork, the worst.
So yeah, but it's and I can say she always inspires me, always reminds me of what we're doing,
Yeah.
and also how we're actually helping people, which is the that's the I say that's the at the end of the day we're happy with that, you
No,
know.
that's awesome. That's awesome. That's the goal with this, like helping each other, like helping our community, making our community better.
Right. And it wasn't just the capoeira itself is, an integral part of it, but there were other factors as far as, programs and things that we've done as well that, just help the community, either kids, parents as well. We
Oh,
have
cool.
my wife's actually a certified Zumba instructor as well.
Nice.
So,
You put that into the non for profit.
yeah, yeah. So,
Nice.
Zumba, it's that I didn't want it to just be solely focused on capoeira
Yeah,
Angola
yeah.
because there was around here there's other things that need to be addressed as far as
Of course.
male mentoring groups, teens and kids. Some of them are just foster kids. They have nowhere to go or nobody to look up to.
Yeah,
Actual women's mentoring groups. My wife has done a tremendous job actually. Bringing many women together. Just to even give them a platform where they can
that's
just
awesome.
share themselves and speak. Uh, that even a program I took a break on it for a moment was called a time to tie, where
Okay.
there were many kids that came across that didn't know how to tie their shoes.
Oh,
So
cool. Okay.
from there, like made a little project and created little shoe tying
That's
practice
awesome.
boards and gave them out actually to elementary schools, where the kids could actually learn how to tie their shoe.
That's awesome.
Uh, Dad, art classes, just anything that we could possibly do to help the community.
Yeah,
That's our goal. So,
that's awesome. And you use that entity to like give back to the community.
exactly. It comes where, we, receive donations, things like that to actually help, operation costs, things like that,
Yeah,
to continue it to grow. But, again, our focus and our goal is, that I still have a regular 9 to 5. I'm a computer technician and an email administrator. So,
oh, nice. Okay,
that
that's
helps.
cool. That's cool.
So, yeah.
Yeah. And how do you do to like, for example, if you are a solo person, like to set up the non for profit? How would you think a person by themselves can set it up?
Well, the first thing I would say is that you really need to know exactly what you want to do.
Okay.
I mean, you have to know exactly what you want to do. I know my wife like reels me in a lot of the times. I'm like, we could do this, we could do this, we could do this. She's like, babe, focus on this one thing. You're like,
Yeah,
focus.
yeah,
So you have to have that one thing, even if you wanted to make it a nonprofit where you teach people how to, paint.
yeah,
Just make sure that you focus on that one aspect. There's many things that the creative mind wants to do, in many ways that wants to express itself, but start on that one thing. Make a mission for it, have a solid business plan, make the
okay,
whole layout of it so from A, B, C, D, this is what all needs to happen, and this is how it has.
okay.
So,
That's awesome.
and
S-
then also you can look on the internet as far as what helped me was, to find actually other nonprofits that either, taught something similar to Capoeira Angola, if
Okay.
it was either ballet or other folkloric dances or,
Yeah,
health, I was able to see, okay, these are the factors that they, focus on. This is what we focus on. So, I need to make sure
would
that,
match.
again, that, everything is unique in itself and it still sticks onto what we want to provide. What's our mission?
Okay. So you pretty much do the like body expression cultural part, then that divides into capoeira, dance, and those kind of stuff.
Yes.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. What do you teach when you do music? Well, do you do capoeira music?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Nice.
Yeah. We everything is the same way like how my master taught me and things like that. I teach, all instrumental, how the from the bateria. We have Mestre Caboquinho actually started a batucada group here in
Oh,
Michigan.
nice.
So from there, I keep teaching, batucada here actually.
Yeah,
And every second and fourth week of the month, we actually have a batucada rehearsal that's, just free for anybody to come.
yeah.
You they want to come try out batucada, see how they may
That's
like it.
awesome.
Okay, good. Well, hey, you could become part of the group,
That's
you know,
awesome. Yeah. Oh, that's pretty cool.
because we want to give everybody that option where, it's not, you don't have to come in here and just, okay, you have to do capoeira Angola, you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do it. It's, sometimes people don't like to do a lot of movement. Sometimes people like music. Sometimes
Yeah,
people just want to do something to, lose weight, to be fit, to, have something to do.
that's awesome.
I feel we're providing that type of platform where, you have options.
No, that's awesome because you just like pretty much you give more options to people to do something to join you.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
That's awesome. And how do you promote your classes or how do you promote the non-profit? What do you use?
Let's see. We use social media,
Nice.
uh, newsletter systems, actual printed flyers, word of mouth. Actual community events. We have vendor booths and we give out flyers. Do performances? We actually have a performance coming up this Friday for the city of Detroit at their Spirit Plaza,
Oh,
where
cool.
it's a lot of different. individuals that will be there either, teaching yoga, hip
Wow,
hop,
that's awesome.
things like that. So, for that, it's great for them to see something different. They're like, oh,
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
yeah. So yeah, yeah.
that's awesome. Yeah, the today's day social media helps so much. It's free. It's a free tool that you can use.
Oh yeah, I had to learn it myself to restructure everything. I'm like, your
Oh yeah.
hashtag, your best friends.
And going forward, do you have any capoeira event coming up, workshops, or anything planned for the near future?
Let's see. We have our annual Brazilian Day Street Festival, Michigan, coming up.
Okay,
That's September the 14th from noon to 7 here in Detroit.
that's
Uh,
awesome.
yeah, the address that is happening is 3000 Connor Street in Detroit, Michigan.
Okay,
This is again something that we started together here with Mestre Cabuquinho, all of our different groups. We started one here in Michigan,
yeah,
where Mestre Cabuquinho also started one in Sacramento in 2013.
okay,
So it's just again, giving everybody else another platform and another opportunity to not just see Capoeira Angola, but to also be able to see how a different culture, how we all actually are united in some type of way, shape, and form.
yeah,
So,
exactly. No, that's
so
awesome. And what so if you have to give an advice to someone, let's break in two parts. So the first part, one advice for people that haven't done capoeira or they started capoeira. What advice do you give to them?
I would say know that it's not going to be easy.
Yeah, yeah,
It's not going to be easy, but just have a lot of patience
yeah,
and a lot of faith, not just to say in the capoeira, but in yourself, and you're going to be able to grow. And just have an open mind. Have an open mind. You know,
nice.
and and then just remember too that you're going to be using muscles in your body that you don't use on a regular. So
You're gonna be sore.
yeah, you're going to get a wake up call all of the time. So if you're
Nice.
comfortable with getting a constant wake up call, then you'll be okay. So and then don't limit yourself.
Yeah,
In the capoeira world, there's so much capoeira out there. If you had, to be honest, if you have that voice that's telling you doesn't really feel, it feels okay, but I feel I could learn more. That's not just capoeira, that's life, period.
yeah, pretty much.
If
Yeah,
you feel something's not right, or you feel like there's more, try something else.
yeah,
Try
exactly.
Keep trying until you find your home, until you find, where you feel you're really going to grow. So,
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Yeah, so you gotta find that thing that clicks to you.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
Yeah. And the second advice that would be for people that already do capoeira or teach capoeira. What advice would you give to them?
Um, I would say don't let ego take over.
Nice. Yeah, yeah.
Don't let your ego take over, and then remember that you are always a student. You are
Yes.
always too. A title is just something that, yes, comes in time, but remember that you started off somewhere. You have a responsibility to pass on something to the next person. Make sure you pass on something that's positive to the person. Don't pass on, your bad experiences,
Yes.
anything like that, because you can create another generation that's not going to grow. They're going to be stagnant.
Yeah.
Remember that you are still a student. You always have something to learn every day. So,
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I like that one. I like that you always are a student.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And to wrap it up, what are your social medias again?
Let's see. Facebook, we have Tabcat Detroit, Creative Movement Brazil.
Okay.
Let's see. We have our main website, DetroitCapoeira.com, CreativeMovementBrazil.com. Also, if you want to learn more information about the Brazilian Day Street Festival Michigan, we have BrazilianDayMichigan.com.
Okay.
Then you can also check out our YouTube channel, Creative Movement Brazil. If you do it in a
Nice.
search, you can see a couple of different things, like our first Brazilian Day, the second Brazilian Day, a couple of different things that we've done with the actual the youth, the teens, the adults, some of our past performances. There's a lot of stuff on there.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So you been working on that, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's awesome.
I try to I try to do the best, and
Yeah.
I can say I have many individuals, not just my mastery, but my wife, my mother herself. She always made sure that she wanted me to do something right, and she saw that capoeira was one thing, and then even when capoeira Angola came around, she's like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you're just gonna be doing that." So
Yeah. That's your thing.
yeah, so it's just again, I can say myself it's a blessing to be able to continue to do something positive, and at
Yeah.
the end of the day, just know you did the right thing.
No,
So
that's awesome. That's awesome. As much as I think destiny put us on these to help people,
exactly,
Yeah.
because I don't, we're not in the whole life of capoeira just to go out there and I'm like, I want to be the next multi-millionaire from capoeira. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Like, we do what we do, and we make sure that we want to do it in the right way, and
Yep.
again, help the next generation become even greater.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, man, thank you so much for sharing all your experience. I really appreciate you reaching out to me to share this. Super happy to have my first Angolero in the podcast.
Thank you. Like I said, obrigado.
De
Obrigado.
nada. Yeah. Thank you so much, man. And we'll keep in touch. And
Yes.
I'll talk to you later, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, what's up? I hope you really like this video, and I hope you enjoyed this interview because I did, and I enjoy all these interviews. Please turn the notifications, the bell notification on, and also please subscribe. Also comment down below what do you think about this interview and every interview you have seen so far. Please comment and also join the Capoeira podcast. I am looking for people to interview. Comment down below in the comments who would you like to listen in the podcast. What kind of experience do you want to listen? Let me know because I want to know your experience as well. And also please share it with your friends, share it with your capoeira community, and let them know that here is a podcast for everybody in the capoeira community to listen, even if they don't do capoeira, for them to understand why you do capoeira. Join me, share with your friends, comment down below, turn notification on, and subscribe. Peace.